Hey there! Today we're going to be doing lesson 2.10, classifying triangles. Sounds like we're spies or something. So our math message today is, in your notes, I want you to list everything that you know about triangles. Just list as many things as you can think of. Let's review just a little bit here about triangles. So, triangles are three-sided polygons. Sometimes this cooperates and sometimes it doesn't. Here we go. Triangles have three vertices. What else do I know about triangles? Lengths of a triangle's sides can vary or be different sizes, is what that means. And last but not least, maybe, there are different types of triangles. So these are all the things that I know about triangles. What about you? So if you haven't quite figured out, in this lesson, we're going to focus on classifying triangles by their angles. I didn't quite mention that part, did I? So what I'm going to do is I am going to show you some pictures of some triangles, and we're going to talk about what kind of triangle it is and why. And usually that's going to be based on what kind of angles does that triangle have. So let's take a look at the first triangle here. It looks like I've got another triangle trying to appear. Okay, so if you take a look at this triangle, I actually have the measurements of the angles typed in here so that you can actually see. So if you looked at this angle right here, you can see that it's pretty small. That actually measures 25 degrees if you use a protractor. And then we have this angle here, which actually measures 120 degrees. And then we have another angle here, so from here to here would be my angle, that measures 35 degrees. Now, because this triangle has one angle that is bigger than 90 degrees, we call it obtuse. So this is an obtuse triangle. Why is it an obtuse? Because it has at least one obtuse angle. Okay? So again, that bottom angle, the 120 degrees, is my obtuse angle for this particular triangle. Alright, so let's take that. We're going to move some stuff around here. I'm going to get that out of the way. Hopefully we're going to move this out of the way. Alright, so this is another triangle, but it doesn't have any measurements on it. Now remember, if I have a straight edge and I were able to use this bottom line segment here, and I drew a straight line up from this vertex going straight up, that would be a 90-degree angle. But as you can see when I do that, this angle is larger than 90 degrees. So that makes this another obtuse triangle. Okay, so that is also an obtuse triangle. So let's get rid of that one. We're going to bring another one up. Okay, what about this triangle? You can again see measurements here. This angle here is 35 degrees from here to here. This angle on this side is 65 degrees. And this angle is actually 80 degrees. So if we were thinking about what kind of angles do we have, the 35 degree is an acute, the 65 is acute, And the 80 is acute. So what kind of triangle do you think this might be? Hopefully you're thinking, it's so cute, right? It's an acute triangle. So that's what we would name that particular triangle. So far we have obtuse and we have acute. So let's take a look at another here. Now again, if we look at our angles, this angle here is 60 degrees from this side to this side. This angle is 50 degrees, and this angle is 70 degrees. So again, I have all acute angles. So what kind is this one? Acute triangle, right? Acute triangle. I wonder if it would have acute babies. Ha 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 ha. Okay, so let's take, and we're going to just move some stuff around here if I can get things to cooperate, which it's not wanting to. Alright, so let's look here. Now, hopefully looking at these three triangles, something is giving you a clue as to what kind of triangle they might be. And hopefully that clue is smacking you in the face right now, because notice this little square that I have in all three of these triangles. What does that square tell you? This forms an L, whether it's upside down, sideways, backwards, whatever. If it forms any kind of L and it measures 90 degrees, then that means that I have a right angle. And the fact that I have a right angle tells me that I have a right triangle. Okay, all three of those are right triangles. So when we look at what kinds of triangles do we have, how are we going to label them, how are we going to know what they are? Well, it's all going to be determined by the type of angles that they have. So I could have a right angle. I could have, a right triangle. I could have acute triangle, or I could have obtuse triangle. So those are your three types of triangles that we'll be focusing on in this lesson. So let's practice just for a few minutes here, and then we will be finished if I can get these triangles to move. Okay, so this green one right here, if I look at this triangle, notice that I have an L that is formed right here. So that tells me that I have a right angle. What kind of triangle am I? Hopefully you said right, because that is a right triangle. Okay, so we're going to take that out. We're going to get rid of that. And now we're going to take a look at this one, maybe. Come on, Mr. Triangle. You need to cooperate. There we go. All right, so if we take a look at this triangle, we have what looks like a very small angle here, very small angle here. Both of those are acute, but if we take this and we flip it around this way, look at this angle here on the bottom, right here. Now remember, this is our line segment going horizontally, but if I went straight up from that vertex, that would be a 90-degree angle. That is a lot bigger than 90 degrees, so that means that that angle is what? Obtuse. So if I have an obtuse angle, that means I have an obtuse triangle. Okay, so we had right, we've had obtuse. I wonder if I can ever get this one to move, if this one is going to be acute. So again, we're going to look at the angles. And one of the things that's cool about this program is I can turn these triangles all around. It makes it a lot easier for me to look at the angles. You will have to take your paper and kind of turn it around to be able to do that. But if we look at this angle here, I can already tell that is smaller than 90 degrees. This angle is smaller than 90 degrees. And this angle is smaller than 90 degrees. So yes, bingo, that is acute. So to summarize what we've talked about today, maybe I can get some of these things to come down and join us. All right, triangles have certain properties that help us identify them, like vertices, number of sides, types of angles. Triangles can be identified by the types of angles that they have. Remember, if they have obtuse or acute or right, that's going to help us determine what kind of triangle that is. And then there are three types that I just mentioned, right? Right, obtuse, and acute. Hopefully that makes sense. If you have questions, make sure you bring them to class and you ask. Good job, guys. I'll see you in class.